Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Not good for now. It is the new generation. I renamed my channel to be the new regeneration. Okay, now I will talk about, we have a new course, inshallah. It will be full course. It will be full. We'll take the full stack web development course. Okay, and now if you ask me about the Python videos, these were only Python basics. I was giving you the Python basics. For example, I gave you the try and accept, give you the variables, I give you the print. Those were Python basics. Or maybe I can complete them and make them a full course. Okay, so now let me just give you the syllables of the course that we're gonna have. Okay, so here is the course. Okay, so here we have the course. Okay, here's the course. Okay, so here we have three things in this course. Three things. First thing we're gonna start with is we're gonna start with the introduction of C and introduction of HTML. Then we'll take the HTML. Okay, now the second part we'll take the CSS. We'll take the CSS and the introduction. Means first we'll start with the introduction and then we will take the CSS. Now after we did all of these, okay, these were for designing. The HTML and CSS were for what? For designing the website. Okay, so now here we have the last thing is the making it interactive. Here, make it interactive. How we can make it interactive? So here we'll draw like this. Okay, so here we have two things also. As always, we'll take an introduction of Python. Okay, we'll take Python, how to use Python, not all the Python, how to use the Python in web development. And okay, so he will get introduction, and here we will take how to use it full. Okay, so this was this was just an review for the syllables that we'll take, and see you in the next video and the new course. Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of the course. In this video we'll make an introduction. There will be a lot of some video, for example about 30 videos for introduction of HTML. Okay, so and the next will be about 20 video for the HTML itself. Okay, so now let's start with our lesson. Okay, so first I'll tell you what to do. I will answer you some questions. For example, what do you know? What is HTML? HTML is a language that you can design a website with it. Okay, if you, for example, open Wikipedia, let's for example open Google, and for example search for Apple. Okay, for example, let's open Wikipedia about Apple. Okay, so here you find a lot of links. For example, here, this link, for example, this is a link, yeah? You see, it's a link. This, for the coder, it's named by hypertext. Text that it's hyper, linked to something. For example, link to a picture, link to any file or anything. Maybe linked to a video. For example, maybe they store the video on their servers, and okay, still don't know servers. What is servers? Servers are large computers that receive a lot of requests a day, so it can answer that request that comes from the user when they open Google. For example, if I now open Google, now there is a request sent to Google that I want to open this web page. For example, if I open Twitter, let's say Twitter. Okay, now a request is sent to Twitter that I want to open. Okay, so okay, and what is HTML? HTML, I will talk more about HTML now. HTML, as we said, that it is a web designing language. Okay, HTML the website is more than one HTML file. Okay, and these files are that has elements that, for example, to view a text, to view pictures, to view videos. Okay, and sometimes these are linked to resources. And for example, if you open a website, for example, and you have a chat button, they use a service. For example, we have a lot of service. For example, let's search for chat service for websites. For example, here we have intercom. It's so famous one. Okay, here is intercom. How they put the chat of intercom in their website, like here. See, they put the intercom chat. How did they do that? They make an account. Intercom gives them an embed, so here it's linked to intercom so they can chat, for example. Now it's linked on their web page. For example, I can get help or support. Okay, so this is the first video of introduction of HTML, and I see you in the next episode. Hello and welcome to the new video of the course of full stack web development in the third video, and we are still in the introduction of HTML. Okay, here in this lesson we'll talk about web and servers. Okay, web and servers. While you are browsing, for example, let's say that you are browsing Wikipedia. Okay, let's open Wikipedia. Wiki. Let's say that you are browsing here Wikipedia. Okay, let's say that you are browsing it. For example, you are reading articles. Okay, you are reading some information. Okay, in this while you are connected to the server of Wikipedia. Okay, but do you know how your computer connects and contacts with the web server of Wikipedia? I will tell you. With HTTP or HTTPS. When you open a website, for example, let's say that you are opening YouTube. Here, if you just check the full URL, here we have HTTPS. Means that the website your computer will talk to the server using HTTPS. Okay, and some see that this says that the website is secure. Yeah, that's correct. And also it tells the computer or your device how to contact with the server in HTTPS or HTTP. For example, let's search for HTTP websites. Example. Okay, I don't know, for example. Okay, so here we have, if we just go to here, example, just a minute, www.example.com. Okay, so this website is secure. I don't know, but I cannot. Okay, so here, check here. Here we have HTTP, means the computer or your device will talk in HTTP, not HTTPS, and this means it's not secure, not encrypted. Okay, means there is no certificate for the secure. Okay, so HTTP and HTTPS, in summarizing, are just a way that tells your device how to contact to the server. Okay, and now I'm opening Google. Let me ask you a question. Is my computer now connected to the server of Google? Yeah, because you are using Google. You are browsing Google. That's all, and goodbye. And wait for me in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new lesson. We are still in the introduction of HTML. In this lesson we will talk about the text and editors, how we're gonna run our HTML code and see and test it. Okay, so we need programs. There's a lot of programs like the I will show you how the process, how to install them. Okay, so here first thing one that's named by Atom, I don't know, yeah, this one, atom.io, this one, but I don't want to install it. This one is Atom. You can download it, and you can use it for HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and Node.js. Node.js. It does work with Python or no. Okay, so here you can use HTML and CSS here. Okay, now there is another program called PyCharm. Yeah, this one. This for maybe everything, but it sometimes might slow your computer. Okay, so I have a better program from all of these, and also same as PyCharm. It's Visual Studio Code. This is the program. Okay, it is freeware source code editor made by Microsoft for Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Features include support, debugging, syntax highlighting, intelligent code completion, snippets, and code refactoring embedded Git. Okay, so here you can use HTML, you can use JavaScript, you can use Python, you can use everything. Okay, so how you install it? I will install it. It will be so light on your device. Okay, so first thing, open code.visualstudio.com or search for on Google Visual Studio Code. Open, and here you'll find this page in front of you. Okay, you'll find this page. Click on this button and choose here other downloads. Okay, so here we got it. Okay, so here you can choose. You use the user installer for Windows. Okay, so if you have 64-bit, I have 32, or you can use for Linux, or you can use for Mac. I'm using 64, so it doesn't matter if I install 32 or 64. Okay, so now it's installing the file or the program. Okay, so I'll open the downloads. Okay, so here we got it downloaded. So we're gonna open our file explorer, and I can check the downloads and open the program. Okay, we'll wait. Okay, so here first thing, I accept the agreement. You can read the agreement as you want. Click next. Now also click next, and here you can browse where you want to save or set up your Visual Studio Code. Here you can name it by any other name, but I want to keep it like this. And here you don't create a start menu. I want to create a start menu, so keep it highlighted. Now I'll tell you what to choose. Okay, first thing, create a desktop icon and choose add open with code, the first two, and registered code, so it will be the default one for opening supported files like HTML and Python. Okay, add to path, that keep it highlight because it will be so helpful and it will save a lot of time. Okay, in adding the path. Click next. Click install. Wait for the installation. Okay, click finish. Let's close the browser. Okay, so here for example this was a file that I did. This was a snake. Let me show it to you. This is a snake. I did it, but doesn't matter now. Okay, so now let's close all of this. And okay, so here first thing, go to here extensions and here search for Python, because Python will use it for after in our in our course. Okay, so here install, but if you didn't install it, example I will install, but there is a problem. Okay, so you must install it and reload, and you will find it. Okay, so when you make an Python file, example, sorry, I will just here, and I must make a location. For example, let me open folder and desktop, doesn't matter. Okay, so now here I will just a minute, here on the desktop I want to do that file. So here let's say test.py. okay, so let's try using print, and for example let's print hi. Okay, run the code to check if it's working. You can right click and run Python in terminal. Here, run Python file in terminal. Hi, that's great. Okay, so now if you don't want to install any program, how you can do this and test? Okay, so how you can test your HTML code first. For example, let's make an HTML code. Create one and say test.html. okay, and here let's write anything. Let's write welcome to HTML. okay, how you can test it? You can, if you want a live server on your local computer, just search for live server, as I remember, live server. Okay, so you install it and refresh. Okay, and here open the go live, click go live here down, it will open automatically, and welcome to HTML. Or you can also open File Explorer, go to desktop, and where is the test? Open it. It will open your browser, but it won't be a live server, just viewing. But sometimes if you make chat or some like this default, it might not work properly. Okay, now if you don't want to install any program, I'll tell you how. For example, let me make first thing, make a text document and write anything like HTML test. Okay, I name it like this. For example, open it. For example, write your code. So hi, this notepad and HTML, for example. Okay, so click on file, click on save as. Okay, so here you could quotation mark and write the name. For example, test HTML easy. For example, let's make it like this, and now dot HTML, and then what again, quotation. Now save it, check the file where you saved it. So here, yeah, here I saved it. Okay, now you want to edit, click open with, right click open with, choose another app and choose notepad. Okay, so for example I want to make hello. Okay, so save it, open it again. I got it. Okay, but it's better to use the program. Okay, and now the CSS, you can download this for some help. Okay, but you don't need actually. Okay, you don't need. When we will use CSS, okay, when we use CSS, you can here make CSS.css. Okay, so for example, you can write anything, but it's not like HTML, any writing it will appear. Okay, so that's all for our video, because I don't want to make it long, and see you next time. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in our full stack web development course. In this episode, we will talk about the job of HTML and the meaning of HTML. Okay, let's start with the meaning of HTML. HTML is a markup language, hyper markup language. Also, if you open Google, search for HTML, you'll get an here. I will zoom it with you. Okay, here it says hypertext markup language is the standard markup language for documents designed to be displayed in a web browser. It can be assisted by technologies such as cascading style sheets and scripting languages such as JavaScript. Scripting means you need to make a website script, make it interactive. You can use Java or Python, but in this course we'll take Python. Okay, now what is the job of HTML? The website, like for example, let's say Facebook. Okay, Facebook is a website, and how it's made for HTML, and these are documents. Okay, and okay, for example, let's say that we opened our Visual Studio or the program that we have. Let's open, for example, Visual Studio. Okay, just a minute. Open folder. New folder. Python. Okay, let's say that we created for example plain text. Let's make a file for HTML. Okay, and here let's say that we wrote hello world. Okay, now you tested it. For example, I can make it go live. Oh, where is the go live? Here it is. Live server. It's here. I don't know, but I can open it with my browser immediately without the live server. So I can go to the desktop and go to Python and open. Okay, now here let's check it. Yeah, it's as we wrote it. Yeah, it's as we wrote it exactly, but you will find it's same, but the font is normally as we wrote it, normal font. How we make it, like for example, if you open for example Wikipedia. Let's for example open Wikipedia. Okay, so here for example the Wikipedia, for example, make this text bold. So here as you see here, it makes it bold. Here for example they made it italic. How did they do that? With CSS, and sometimes they can do it with HTML hypermark. That's why we said that the HTML is hypertext markup language. Okay, now what's the job of HTML? The job of HTML views text and how to play with this text. For example, the font, the size, using the hypertext markup, using the markup. Okay, in the markup, what it can do? It can link to other resources. For example, if we open, for example, a website. For example, if you open a website, for example, okay, for example, I embedded one of my videos into my, for example, this website. Okay, how did I do this? Now this my web page is linked. Yeah or no? Yeah, it's linked. Okay, how exactly? Because I embedded, it's linked now to YouTube, because this video is viewed on YouTube. It's embedded, so now it's linked. Okay, now we talked the job of HTML, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in the full stack web development course. Okay, today we'll talk about the markup. As you know that if you write any plain text, it will write as we usually know, as standard text. Yeah or no? Yeah. For example, if we have this text, let's say, hi there, let's go live and start the live server. Yeah, I'll zoom in. Hi there. Okay, that's great. Okay, let's say that you want to, there's something named by markup in HTML, means HTML just can do and standard text. It can make it strong, I mean by bold. It can be emphasis. Let's say how. For example, let's make a short paragraph. Let's write hello. Okay, and we want word to be bolded. How we do it? We'll make an element, and in the middle of this element we'll write the text that we need to make it bold or strong. I'll tell you how. Start with like this and write strong, and then the end like this. Automatically in Visual Studio Code it will be like this, and we will repeat the same thing, but before we write strong we'll put a slash, and here in the middle, for example, let's say world. So world, it will be bolded. So let's refresh our page and check. Yeah, here we got it. Hello world. Also let's check the page scores here. Hello, here strong and strong. Here slash. So the slash means we ended the element. So here world, we want it to be bold, I mean. Okay, let's say that we have another word, we want to make it let's say another paragraph, for example, hi, for example, how are you? Okay, so for example, let's make how, it should be bold. So we use strong. Okay, so here how, for example, let's say how we want it. Okay, bold. And are you, we want it to be italic. How we do this? We'll use em, and em stands for emphasis. So that's why they named the programmers named it by em, emphasis, better than the writing the full name. Okay, now let's refresh the page. Here, hi, we didn't do anything for it. How? Okay, we make it bold. Are you? Okay. Also, you can search for internet for more ways. Example, how to mark up in HTML. You can also search example, how to change, for example, change font color in HTML. How you do this? There's a way also. We'll use an attribute named, okay, use this style attribute. You can open this article. Here we can make p style. Okay, here is, for example, an example how he did it. P style, but this will take it after. Okay, so here let's try a live demo for how to do it. Okay, so here that's just here is our what we want. Okay, so this will take it after. This is an ID for this word. Okay, and we use this ID to make it like this. Example, h1 not ID, it is, for example, heading. Like heading, if you open, for example, Word here, if you open a blank document, example, you have heading 1, heading 2. Here h1, h for heading 1 means heading 1. Okay, because, for example, if we preview, yeah, here h1, it will be h1. Okay, and here we can make a P style color blue. Okay, so here this is what we need. We'll use the element, here we will use the style attribute P. Okay, so here for example, okay, so let's change this text. Let's make it, for example, the next generation. Okay, let's make it, for example, you can also use and to make a certain color exactly. Example, I want cyan. Okay, I will refresh my page. Yeah, here I got it in cyan color. That's great. Okay, let's take the last thing, that how to change font style in HTML. This is so nice thing. We'll use the style attribute. Also, strong and emphasis are attributes, not these are style attribute. Okay, so how we do the change? Okay, so I'll open a live demo. Okay, so this will make a use P and style. Okay, so here we have the Google font style. Where you can get it? You can get it from Google Fonts. Search for Google Fonts. Okay, and you can browse and put a font. Okay, and you can use font family also, because in font family you can do style, you can do this, and this will run it for after. Okay, so yeah, here for example the font family Georgia, or we can also browse some fonts. For example, let's make it change sometimes they change. Yeah, here it's like the same. Okay, let's for example use sans serif preview. Okay, now we will end our episode here and see you next time. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video or episode in my course. Today we'll talk about breakout and empty elements. If you, for example, make a simple HTML file and you wrote some, for example, let's say, hi Danny. Okay, let's say for example, how are you? Okay, now we'll enter and say for example, when we will meet at the park. Okay, now we separated them. Yeah, we make enter. So as we know that we need to, hi Danny, how are you, will be in one line, and when we will meet at the park will be on one line. But that's false. I'll tell you now. See, HTML put them in one line. Why? Because there is something named by breakout or empty. What is this? How we do it? We'll put a bracket and write PR. Okay, and close the bracket. So BR stands for breakout, so it will be a space or enter next line. If we here we do it, yeah, because if HTML, if you have enter without putting BR, it will put all of them into like one paragraph, but like not to separate them. Even if you, let's delete this BR breakout, and for example let's put one more space, a space between them. I mean enter, here a line, empty line. Let's try and refresh. Even thought, because if it isn't even empty or not empty, it will be as one. Means if, let's say that this text, okay, for example here text in number 1, and here text in number 2, here text in number 3, and here text in number 4. If you run, what will happen? You will get it as one paragraph. As one paragraph. All together is one. Okay, how we what solve this problem? We use BR, breakout. Button bracket, write B and R and then close the bracket. After each line, this will make an empty, it will make an enter. For example, means we put here a BR. Okay, so hi Danny, how are you will be in one line, and when we will meet at the park will be in one line. Okay, let's add another line. Okay, and don't forget to put the BR. Let's, for example, where are you now? Okay, so here let's make the PR. I'll copy it for saving some time. Put it again. Okay, so hi Daniel, how are you? One line. When we'll meet at the park, one line. Where are you now? One line. Let's refresh our page. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Also, that it's not what BR. There's also another thing. I will tell it to you now. There is another thing called it's P. But what it does P, that it keeps an empty line. Means a line will be empty. For example, let's move this. It will be, what it does, the BR makes only one text in itself, and the next line will be text for itself. Okay, if we want to make between each one empty line, and each one it's in its own line, how we do? We will do P. No need to write enter, just do P, refresh. So hi Danny, how are you? Would be, and here empty line. Okay, and when we will meet at the park, and then empty line, and then where are you now, and this is the end, so no empty line left. So that's all for today, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode from my course. In this episode we will talk about a lot of elements, means a lot of more things to format the text. Okay, so let's start, and open Visual Studio Code or your program, or open Notepad as you want, as we said in episode number 4. Okay, for example, let's make some text. Okay, I'll write some text and I'll post this video for some time. Okay, let's say that we have this text. Okay, if we just run it on the browser, it's like a normal text. Big deal. Okay, now let's make some format. Okay, let's make an emphasis for story, for example. EM brackets, we'll open a bracket and say EM, and story, we'll move it down here. Okay, now let's, for example, make my life. Okay, and let's say Mark, and okay, do you see that Mark is someone? No, it's not someone. Let's check. And now what is it? Open your browser, refresh your page. Yeah, now do you know Mark? Here it means like to highlight a certain type of text. Okay, let's also take two things more. Okay, let's say that there's something sub. Okay, it is with B, not P. It is with B. Okay, try it in your program and try. And also I want to, for example, upside down to be the SUP. SUP, and you try. I'll not show you till you try yourself. Okay, because I want you to depend on yourself sometime. Okay, so now I will show you. Yeah, do you know what it does? Here sub, okay, it was about how sub, it moves the text a little bit down. Okay, now we know. So SUP, it will go up like Superman will gonna fly, and sub will go down because it doesn't have any power. Okay, so here SUP, what it does is like Superman, it goes up, and SUB goes down, and I'll tell you what are these names. Okay, here the sub element represent a subscript. Here it's subscript, and sub superscript. Subscript, superscript. And that's all for today, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody. Welcome to a new video episode in my course. Today we'll talk about nested elements. Okay, let's for example. Okay, do you know, for example, you have a doll, nested doll. Okay, like this. Nested tiger dolls, for example. Let's say tiger doll. Okay, let's say like this one. Okay, so here what you're gonna do, so you put one inside one. And also let's for example make another example. Let's draw. Okay, so here we have, this is the biggest one, this is the first one, big, from the biggest to the smallest, and this is the second, this third, this upper, this fourth. Okay, so let's say we put the yellow inside the red, then the blue then inside the yellow, and it's inside the red. Then we put the green inside the blue, and inside the yellow, and inside the red. Okay, let's say that we put the green here, so let's bring it here, and now here we need to put it, yeah, but it will not work. In real, it will not work. Why? Because this is bigger. How a small can handle a big? That's not even. Let's return to our image here. If we put, for example, we put a big thing inside small, we cannot. Okay, this is the same as HTML, but sometimes not exactly. Okay, so let's open our Visual Studio Code. After we open it, so here, for example, let's say that, let's start a paragraph using P. Okay, and here let's say these are, let's make it italic. For example, I want important, so I want important to be, for example, bold, so I write a strong. These are important. Okay, equation. Okay, so I want equations to be, for example, mark. Oops, sorry. Mark. So select it. Ctrl X. Okay. Now let's important equations. For example, let's say I want to make this italic, for example, so I will say em. Okay, m2 equal 3, for example, so I want 3 to be italic. For example, let's make it up, to be up, so we use superscript. So here I'll open a superscript, sup, and close it, and right inside it, for example, 4. Okay, so now I need to close the P, so I will open a bracket /P and close automatically. Now I'll go live. So as I did it, okay, what I did, so for example, I put inside P, I put inside it strong, and I put inside P mark, and I put inside em. Okay, now let's say that strong in P, strong inside of it, let's make mark, means mark, strong, important, it will be strong and mark. So how I'll do this? Also I'll make here mark. So I'll just cut it, and for example I need to make two formats, the strong and the mark. Let's refresh our page. Yeah, we found it, bolded, strong and highlighted. So okay, let's say that here we also put the mark. Let's say that here, let's cut this, and here let's say that the mark will be, I want the strong and the mark will be important, but I'll not close the mark here. I'll close it at equations because I want only what equations to be marked. But I close the strong at important because I don't want it to make it bold. So I will just a minute. Here we cannot, it will not work. Why? Because there is a rule in nesting the elements in HTML, because we cannot put mark outside of strong because it's inside of it. Okay, if we need to make equations, we can Control and X, okay, and here important equations. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you start with closing strong or with closing mark, it doesn't matter. For example, let's here close the strong, and here close mark, okay, and refresh. It's working properly. So here in this lesson we talk about nesting elements, and see you in the next lesson. Hello everybody and welcome to a new lesson. Today we'll talk about headings in HTML. Headings are tells the way how you write something. For example, if you open a Word application, let's make a blank document. For example, here find for example heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. You'll find a lot of things. Okay, this also is in HTML. I'll show you now. Let's start with opening our Visual Studio Code. Let's make a new file, and let's say for example headings.html. okay, so I will just post the video and return. Okay, now I have wrote them, and let's just see them, and before we explain, okay, so I'll go live. Okay, so just let me zoom out. Okay, so here I wrote I am heading 1, so this text will be in H1, heading 1, this heading 2, heading 3, I am heading 4, I am heading 5, and I am heading 6. Let me tell you how I did this. First thing, you need to open a bracket and type H. Okay, if you want heading 1, you write number 1 after H. 2, write the number 2. Like this, and moreover, and there are only 6. There are now 7. Okay, let's try 7 and check. If there is no 7, means that there is no more. Let's check. No, there is more, but okay. So you can also search how many, what heading are in HTML. You can search. There are 6 levels, but this is a normal text. I don't know. I can just check 8. If it's the same, means there are only 6 that, as I know. Yeah, it's only 6. It's 6 only. Okay. Also, if you search on Google, here we have 6 levels: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. H1 is being the highest or most important. 11 things are in the least. Okay. Now let's make a text. For example, I want a title to be in heading 1. For example, I want to say for example, I want to head H1. I'll make, for example, a story or paragraph, and let's say that I want to do H1 to be my summer vacation. vacation. Okay, let's say that I want summer vacation, so I will gonna refresh, and here at my okay. Now let's say, for example, I want to be heading to. I want to say in heading to. Okay, at 12/20/20, for example, I had a very nice summer vacation with my family. Okay, now let's make the last one. I want heading say last thing. Okay, so let's say, for example, first we went to the beach. Okay, so now I will make a breakout. No, I mean the P. So I want to make an empty line. Okay, so after H2 I'll make an empty line. Okay, here's the last one. Okay, now I am done. Let's refresh. Okay, so here heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3, and empty line. My summer vacation at 12/20. I had a very nice summer vacation with my family. First we went to the beach. Okay, that's great. That's all for today, and this lesson was headings of HTML, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode in my full stack web development course. Today we'll talk about lists in HTML. It seems that you will be so excited to do this. Okay, so first let's open our Visual Studio Code. Okay, and I will create a file, lists.html. In HTML you can do lists. These lists can be ordered, means ordered in numbers, and unordered means you put points. Okay, so let's start, for example, with making steps to make a cake, for example. Here are some steps. Okay, so I want them to be, for example, in ordered list. Okay, so you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, and more all over. Okay, so I'm gonna close this from here. Just a minute. And just close this. Okay, now I will divide my screen. So here, how to do an ordered list. We'll open like this a bracket and say OL. L means a list, O means ordered. Okay, so first thing I will make here, also I'll open a bracket for each one and type LI, so it's list. Okay, so I'll post this. Okay, so I'll first do the first step, prepare, example, baking pans. So I'll post the video, and when I'm done I will show you. Okay, so now let's check what we did. Okay, so here we make them an ordered list, so they must be ordered by numbers. Okay, let's say that we want to make them by points. So write U means unordered, and then we will write L, unordered list. Here also the same thing. Gonna refresh, and we got them in points. Example, let's change what we wrote. So here, for example, let's say okay, for example, we made it get ready 3, 2, 1 go. For example, there will be in points. Here in get ready 3, 2, 1 go. Let's, for example, make it ordered using numbers. So we change it to O, refresh, and we got it in numbers. So that was the lesson of today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in my course. Today we'll talk about nested lists that are nested inside of each other. Okay, so let's start and open a Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's complete on our lists. Okay, so let's say that we, for example, want to say examples of mammals. So what we're gonna do, we want mammals to be point, so it will be unordered, and the mammals will be or let's say that we want to make the mammals, it will be number 1. Okay, and then we want, for example, amphibians. So how we'll do this? Okay, first thing, we need to start with an ordered list, because ordered list. OL. Okay, so here I need to make, for example, let's start with we'll write an list. Just a minute, was it list or li? Okay, so I just can Control Y. Okay, so here I can just edit this. Okay, so first thing I will make an OL, and when I do the OL, I'll make a list, and right here I want first mammals, slash li mammal. I'll just check mammals. Okay, so here the examples of mammals. So I need to open something new. It would be the unordered list. So unordered list. So here what you're gonna do, click enter again, and what you're gonna do is, for example, give example of mammals. So you can search on internet and search for mammals. You can example search for some. Okay, example, you can go to images, and for example here we have mammals, animal. Okay, so here for example you have the dog, the zebra, and the tiger. Or let's make tiger. So I'll make a list and write tiger. Okay, the same thing, I'll re-enter and make a list, and let's say for example rabbit. Okay, now I want amphibians. Okay, so I'll not close the UL, so I'll return here and go here as when the mammal started. Okay, so here I'll make li. No, what we're gonna do is here we're gonna end this ordered list. So here we'll slash ol. Okay, so when we write the amphibians, it will not be the unordered list. Sorry, unordered list. Okay, no, we closed it. Okay, so now here I'll go and return and write here amphibians. So here I will make a list. It will be with the ordered list. So here I will put amphibians, or let's, okay, amphibians, amphibian. So I can copy it and write it here, amphibians. Okay, and we'll click enter, and here we're gonna start a new list, a new unordered list. Okay, so here inside of them I'll make a list. For example, I will start with the frog. Okay, now click enter, and I'll put another example. Let's say here we need, for example, toad. Okay, now we'll close this UL and here we close our OL. Okay, so /OL and brackets. Okay, now let's test what we did. Yeah, as we did it, we opened an ordered list for mammals and amphibians. Okay, and then we opened a new list for tiger and rabbit, and then we closed them, and so only will be the ordered list. So amphibians will be numbered, and then we'll open a new unordered list. So frog and toad will be with dots, and then we'll close the UL for the frog and toad, and then close the full OL for mammals and amphibians. And that was all of today. Also, maybe you want the mammals to be the numbered, and the tiger will be, the mammals will be with unordered, okay, and the tiger, it will be ordered. Okay, so you can switch them as I did. And that's all for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode in my course. Today we'll talk about web addresses in HTML. Okay, web addresses in HTML. Okay, let's give you an example. Let's say that you are browsing Facebook. Okay, so you know that the URL, how you open the Facebook. When you write, I want to open Facebook. What you're gonna write? You're gonna write facebook.com. Okay, if you give this thing for the HTML and want it to act as it. Okay, so let's try and see if there's any error. Okay, so here web.html, for example. Okay, so here let me, for example, how we can test it. We can make a ref, so I can link to it. For example, I want an image from Facebook, so for example, this is an image in Facebook. Okay, I can copy this link and I want it to view in my page, so I'll make like this and enter. Here I'll put the link, and then I'll close by brackets. Okay, I can go live and see what happens. It doesn't show anything. Why it doesn't show anything, I will tell you now. Because the link, just a minute, no, here, no need for this, just a minute. Yeah, I can just go live again, or I can open it from my local, or just let's get another website, maybe. Okay, so let's say this image from Google. Okay, so I will put it here. Okay, so let's say here I want this to open Google. Okay, so I will just here write an sample. Okay, so here I will add it and say, for example, google.com. As you open it, yeah, open like this. You write google.com. Here say visit Google. Okay, now I can just go live, start my server. Okay, here visit Google. It will give an error. Sorry, no, I mean if you want to put an image from Google. Okay, so let's say that here, yeah, this is the logo of Google. So I'll copy this in this way. So here I can put it. Okay, I can refresh. Where's my? Okay, here it will give an error. Okay, why? Why? Because HTML needs an full. It must have HTTP and // and www dot. It must be like this. At least you have HTTPS and you have this semicolon and // and www dot and the name and then .com. Like this, he will understand you. Let's refresh. Now it worked. because HTML needs an, for example, see here, they must put, for example, if we want to put an image, let's say that we want to put an image, put an image in HTML, for example, let's say. So we do this, we use image source. Okay, so let's, for example, say here I will copy this command and paste it here. Okay, so this is, and here let's say that I'm gonna refresh my page. Nothing, it's no image. Why? Because the image like this, hey, you just give him the name of the image, so it must be in the same place or in the same folder. Okay, so let's, for example, download an image. For example, turtle image. Okay, this turtle, we can just go images and, for example, download this one. Okay, so I will put it in the same place. Okay, so here I can do turtle, and then I can here edit the name. Okay, so here it's need pick, so I can rename it pick underscore the rally. Okay, here it's GIF, not JPG, JFIF. Okay, so now it will search in the same place that it's the folder, the file is in it. Okay, and say, let's here a narrative, because if my mouse came on it, it will show turtle. So I write turtle. Okay, so I can refresh, and here if I put my mouse here, so I don't know, but here it must show turtle. Okay, let's say that I have from another server, let's say this Google icon, or and example flag. Let's search for a flag picture. Okay, so let's, for example, take this one. Okay, so I'll open the image in new tab. Okay, this is on another server. Okay, so let's me replace it with this, and I want wikipedia.com, just like this, wikipedia.Wikipedia. Let me check, and where is the server? I can reload, I cannot find anything. Okay, so I must put https and semicolon / www, like this. It will be like this working. Yeah, now we got it. Great job. Okay, so that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, and welcome to a new episode. This is the last episode in the introduction of HTML, and there will no be HTML itself, and also the CSS, same thing. Just I said this by mistake, but please forgive me. Just the Python will be introduction, and there will be more Python. Okay, so we'll talk about today hidden body. For example, let's say you're browsing Emirates. For example, you want to book a flying ticket. Okay, so how did they told the HTML that they want, for example, to view this in the middle, and to view, for example, the title in the up? How did they do that? They used head and the body. How did they do this? Okay, so here they started the head. Okay, so here I want head. Example, here where did they make the title? So you can here just search for title. Okay, so here the title. This is the same title. If you came here, you can see the full title. Okay, title comes in the in the first, in the head. Okay, body means that views in the middle. These buttons, these hyperlinks, for example, these resources, these text, most of the things that you use are the pictures. They put a picture. All of these are in the body. For example, you can find the text written. You can find, for example, the pictures written. You can find the scripts written. Everything about everything. For example, you can search here, and body is about how much of an HTML website. I can just reset. I don't know, but it mostly the HTML is body. Means most things are in the body, like for example the pictures, everything. So that's all for today, and we finished the introduction of HTML, and see you in the introduction of CSS. Hello everybody, welcome to the introduction of CSS, and we finally are done from the introduction of HTML. In the first lesson of introduction to CSS, we're gonna take what is the meaning of CSS. Let's start with starting. Okay, CSS is a cascading. It is cascading style sheets, and CSS describes the visual view of anything that views on the web page, and it visualizes and formats its properties, for example the color, the font, and etc. Okay, you can also search on Google for the meaning of CSS for better understanding. If you search for CSS here, you can find that cascading style sheets. Cascading style sheets is a style sheet language. It's a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in a markup language, like the HTML that we took. And CSS concerned cornerstone technology of the World Wide Web alongside HTML and JavaScript. Okay, let's take some information. For example, when it was released on December 17, 1996, before 24 years ago, and it was developed by World Wide Web Consortium, 𝒩ℯ𝓍𝓉. And the type of format is style sheet language, the container for style rules of HTML elements. Means you have an image element or text element, the CSS can format it and edit how it will be visualized and looks, and it contained by HTML document. It puts style rules for HTML element. For example, you have text in an HTML, you put style rules. For example, I want this text to be in this font, like sans serif. I want it to be cursive, I want it to be bold, I want to be, and a lot of things. Okay, and what is meant by CSS? Cascading style sheet, as we know. And what are three types? There's three ways: internal and external and inline styles. And what are the basics? Here, for example, styling the body, changing the page color, different type of selector. Different type of selector will take it near in this course. So it is like the idea how CSS can select an element in HTML using ID, using a class. There is three ways. So that was all for today, and see you in the next video. We're gonna start with CSS. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in the course of full stack web development. Today we will take the developer tools. I mean the developer tools in your browser. Means how you can access the developer tools. Okay, so first you can open any browser. For example, let's start with Microsoft Edge. Okay, here for example let's search for Twitter. Let's open Twitter. Okay, now can you just discover the elements here? For example, here we have text is an element, here text also, and here text also. Here we have buttons, here also text, and here is an element for writing the phone email or username, and here we have the password, and we have a hyperlink, and we have login. Okay, how we can see the code or open first the developer tools? There's two ways in Microsoft Edge. You can right click here and choose inspect, or you can click here and go to more tools, go to developer tools, and here it will welcome you. You need to go here up, you will search go elements. Yeah, now you are sure. Okay, well, you want to see the code of each one. For example, I want to see the code for it sign up. I click inspect and I get the code, and when I put my mouse on it, it will say where is it's for what. It was class. Okay, I want to know where is this text, where is the code of this text. I click right inspect. Here I can see the text same as here. For example, I can edit it. Welcome to Twitter, for example. Welcome to Twitter. Okay, now it's edited. Try to do this, it will be so fun. For example, I want to here change, for example, discover here. I want to here discover, for example, here. So what can I do? Or example, I want to delete these hyperlinks. How can I do this? You can just a minute, just select them, right click here and click inspect. Okay, so here example, I want to remove this brand resources. Now it's deleted. For example, here I want to delete, example here advertising, I want to delete the marketing, example like this. You can delete, for example, I want to delete the settings. Click inspect, delete the settings, or example say home or discover. Let's say I want to home, so here I get here home. Okay, I want to remove this copyright. Right click, and here copyright I can edit. Boy, for example, kids of the future. Okay, so now let's go to another browser. Okay, the second one is Google Chrome. Okay, for example, let's open another website. Let's say Facebook. Just a minute. Here's Facebook. Okay, so here's Facebook. I want the main page. So here's Facebook. So here in Google Chrome, the same thing. Right click here and inspect, or here go to more tool and developer tools. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here sometimes it opens immediately on console. You must go to elements. If the last time you used console, okay, and you don't understand any of these things. Okay, now here for example this is an element for example for text and delete text, and here also button, for example hypertext, here also button, and a lot of things. Okay, let's for example make this text, I don't want it to be strong. I click inspect, I find it strong, or maybe it is okay. So just let's resize this. Okay, so here it was by CSS, okay, not by the HTML. Okay, for example, I want to edit this text. Okay, so here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check this text, go inspect, oops, sorry. So here, example, I want to edit the create a page. I want to say, for example, create a business. Here, business. Okay, so here, create a business account. The business account. Okay, so here we got to create a business account, but the hyperlink is still as the same. Okay, how we can edit it? Here you can find the link, but why there is no HTTPS? Because it's on the server itself, so there is no HTTPS. Just checks and go to pages, a folder in the same file or folder, I mean, then it goes to pages. Okay, for example, let's edit the link. Example, I want this link to open in Facebook. For example, I want to open Facebook again. So how I can do this? I can just here and edit HTML. Okay, so here I can make HTTPS, and here I can make www.facebook.com. okay, now it's edited, so I can open it and it will reopen on Facebook. Okay, for the other browsers I will put in the description below for the other browsers. For Google, for Safari and Firefox, how to open it, but I don't have them on my computer, so I just mention in the description how to open developer tools in it. Okay, so that was all of today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we'll talk about text to trees. For example, let's say that let's open, for example, Visual Studio Code. Okay, for example, so let's return, for example, to okay, for example, let's return, check this file. Okay, this HTML or this file or this document is made of what? For example, brackets, made of spaces, made of text, made of letters, made of a lot of things. Okay, let's for example, okay, let's say that any user opened your website and he found this in front of him. He found this. Okay, he found this in front of him. Okay, ask yourself a question: why not all of them are all of things that you wrote in HTML is not appearing in when you open it? Means, for example, also example here, one was not in the HTML. From where did it come? And the OL is here, but why it's not here? HTML is changing the HTML to a view, into a picture that the user can understand, mixed with CSS that visualize how an element in HTML will be viewed. I mean that it's the HTML and CSS is making a picture that the user can understand. For example, let's open, for example, let's say Wikipedia. Okay, let's open Wikipedia. Okay, so here, okay, this for this picture, how you get this picture or this view. HTML is mixed with CSS to make a picture that the user, or a view that the user can understand. Okay, so that was all for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in my course. Today we're gonna take the text-to-trees, but the part number 2. Okay, so I will open Visual Studio Code. You don't need to open it. If you want, you can. Okay, so let's say that we opened Visual Studio Code, and for example we created just a small list. For example here, let's create just a small list. Okay, so here, so let's say for example here apple, and here I want to make for example okay, so for example I here want to write banana. Okay, and next one I want to write for example orange. Okay, now let's see what will happen. Okay, so here we got apple, banana, orange. Okay, so here in this list it is same as the, okay, just a minute. Here we have this list. We started an ordered list, and it has list Li and Li. Okay, and each Li has a text. For example, first Li, for example here, check the whiteboard on the right. See the whiteboard? Okay, so here for example, let's say the blue is the list. So here inside it we'll write the O L. Okay, and this OL is made up of 3 things because we have 3 Li. Here we have, if we just do like this, we have Li. Okay, just a minute, like this. Okay, here we have Li, here we have also Li, and here we have Li. Okay, and this Li is still branching. They are divided. Yes or no? So here we have a box, another box. Oops. Here, for example, here we'll draw 3 boxes. Okay, or 3 squares. Okay, so here the first Li has apple, okay, and the second Li has banana. The second Li has banana, and the last one is orange. Okay, so this is like a tree structure. Means OL is divided to 3 Li. Each Li has a text. For example, the first one is A, is divided to is A, and the second Li is B, and the third Li is O. So that was the second part of text-to-tree, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in my course. Today we're gonna learn about the styling HTML directly. Okay, let's open for example Visual Studio Code, and here we have a list. Yeah, let's say that I want to make apple, banana, orange colored to green, for example, or I want to change the font. Okay, so this, it will be so hard because we will we will gonna repeat a lot of times. I mean that we will put the same we'll rewrite the same command for each one, and like this, like here. So here we repeated the command, but it will be might be so tricky. Why? Because for example here we put a mistake. It will be so hard to find this mistake. It will take a lot of time because you repeated it. So today we will learn how to use CSS. Okay, so first thing, all of them uses li. Yeah, the selector li. Okay, so we need to open a CSS, and this CSS, it will be linked to the HTML, so we can edit them. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so before we start, we just need to link the HTML to CSS. So the HTML will take the style rules from the CSS. Okay, before we do this, we need to make the CSS. How we can do it? Create a new file. For example, let's name it by style.css. Okay, and now go to the where is it? The HTML. Okay, and before everything, you need to use the head. Okay, you need to use the head and open the head and write this command: link brackets link space rel equal quotation mark style sheet quotation mark space href equal quotation mark, and you can do it like this if okay, and I have style, not styles. Okay, so you must be sure from the name of the file. Just this, it will be for each one, it will be different. Okay, and it's better to make it in the same folder that HTML is in it. Okay, because it's better than to write the full path. Okay, so now it's linked. To check, just we follow the link, it opened the CSS. Now what we're gonna do is wanna make a rule that will make, for example, the color blue. Okay, so here in each one we have li. So here we're gonna write, sorry everybody, I mean we will do it in HTML. So here in HTML, how we can do it? So here we're gonna open style. Can open style and close it and click enter. So here we have li. So here we'll make li. We'll open like this and write the color to be green, or let's say blue, and then we put here to separate from each one. Okay, now let's go live and check our live server. Hooray, we got it. Okay, so let's, for example, change each one. For example, I want li to be color blue. For example, I want li to be, for example, font size. Okay, for example, font size, yeah, this one. And to, for example, to be XX large. Okay, so here, for example, I want the banana to be XX large. So here I'm gonna write li2. Okay, and here the last thing I want to make, for example, the orange to be in orange color. So for example, I want to make li4, or let's change this to ba. Okay, so here I want to write ba for banana. Okay, so here I want to write or, means orange. Okay, I'll open like this, and here I'm gonna write the color. I want the color to be orange because it's orange, and we close like this, and here change to or, and here or. I'm gonna go live again. and we got it. Here we make the banana to be like this, and we made this to be like this, but it is not as a list. Why? Because it is, if you want to make it inside the UL, you must use li. So you might just make them one. We'll learn after how to make this. Okay, but for example, you can make all the font, everything using font family in one style, in one rule, in one thing. Okay, for example here li. Okay, so I'm gonna open, for example, the font family, and for example Cambria. Okay, and then I'm gonna refresh my page, and I got it in this font. Okay, so here, how do I separate them? Using this one, this symbol. Okay, now here, let's for example make also the example. I want the example, the font dash style, I want it to be oblique. Okay, so I'm gonna refresh, and I got it like this. Okay, so that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we'll talk about the CSS syntax. Okay, here we'll take the CSS syntax. Here we have the rule of the CSS. We have the selector and the declaration block. Okay, for example, I will show you some code and we will discuss it together now. Okay, so here we have the picture. Okay, so here, for example, the li is the selector. Here is the selector, and this, the color green, is the declaration block. Not only the color green might be the declaration block. For example, we can have color green, and then we put also font family, and then we put, for example, the font style, and all of these that, like, there are the rules for these selectors are called the declaration block. So let's complete into our lesson. Okay, so now here we have another picture, this picture. Okay, so here we have first the rule of CSS. First we start with the selector, then we start with this, and then we write our declaration block, then we rewrite the same symbol. Here in this example here we have the weird is the selector, and it's a class. And here the first one means that any paragraph will have the width 50 rule, and here anything in the HTML connected to the class attribute dot weird will have the color purple, and here font size will be the large. Let me give you another example. Okay, so here we have another picture. Here we have another thing called the declaration rules. These are the rules, but without the symbol. Means we said this was the declaration block, and this is the rule itself without any symbol. This is the rule, but not all the rules. Means you can't say that this declaration rule is width 50, and for example you say the font family. No, that's not correct. The correct is that the one rule is one, means just rule is this color purple is a rule. This is one rule, and this font family size a large, this is one rule. So in this class attribute we have two rules. Okay, now we have more to know. Okay, so here we have another picture. Here we have the property and the value. The property, for example, here we have the color is the property. For example, here we have the font size is a property. Here we have the width is a property. The font family is a property. All of these are properties. And the value, that describes its value. For example, that will come after the property is the value. For example, the width after it came 50, so the 50 is the value. Or say we can say that the width, its value, it will be 50. Okay, here we have the color. The value of the color to be purple. For example, here we have on the size, the value of it will be large. And that was all for today, and see you in the next video. Bye bye. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in my course. Today I'm gonna learn about the selectors in CSS. There is a lot of selectors in CSS actually, but today I'm gonna take some of them. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing, I will have some screenshots, some images that we would do. Okay, so here we have this image. Okay, this screenshot. Here we have the body. Matches the body element, applies to the whole document. For example, here we have a document. And we make the body font family cursive. Means all the elements in the body, all the text in the body will be cursive in the body. Means matches the body element, applies to the whole document, everything inside the body. Okay, let's get another so body is an structure, body element. You can use element. So here we have another screenshot. Just a minute. Okay, so here we have another screenshot. Here we go. So here we can use type selector, like for example P color blue. That means that everything in all the paragraphs in your HTML will be in color blue. Okay, so here we have EM. EM means emphasis, means any letter that is what mentioned to be italic. Also the font size of it will be large. Okay, so let's try in Visual Studio Code. We can try doing that rule. So you can just divide the screen. Okay, so here we can go to test.html. Okay, so here we can divide our screen. Okay, so here we can, for example, make an example. I want to here make emphasis, important note. Okay, now if I just go live, open the server, it will be emphasized. Okay, here let me close this. Okay, so let's return and make it also font size large, but without typing more things with EM. So what we're gonna do, write it before the EM, because the code reads from the first line till down. So we start the style. Okay, style. Okay, so here we have the EM font dash size. Okay, so here we have it large. Okay, now after we are done, we can refresh and we find it larger and emphasized, but in the text we didn't write anything more. Okay, let's try doing this in CSS. Okay, so here we can write EM. Let's try. For example, I want to make it in font dash size large. Okay, and I link it to the where's the test file? Yeah, I linked it to it. So let's try refreshing. Also the same. You can do it from HTML or you can do it on CSS. Both ways can work properly. So that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in my course. Today we're gonna talk about the selectors, the ID and the class. Okay, so let's start with learning more about the class. Okay, so I have a screenshot that we're gonna study it. Here we have the selectors. Okay, here P class equal introduction. This is a paragraph with the class. Okay, so here P class equal follow up. This has a different class. Okay, so here how we use class to select and make rules. Okay, first, what is class? Class is a group of things that have the same characteristic. Okay, first, how we can make a class and put in it some rules. So here in the CSS we put a dot and write the name of the class, for example introduction. Then we open the symbol, then we write our rules, then we close. And then when we want to make it on an element, we open, for example here we make a paragraph, we open P and we put the class equal introduction with quotation marks, and then we close, and here after we wrote what we want we close. Okay, so let's try doing this. So we can open Visual Studio Code. So I will tell you how. Example, here we have the test and the HTML. So here I want to open this, I want to open in another one. Example, here I want, okay, so here we have the linked, it's linked. Okay, so here we have, I have my own class. So first let's create our class. So we start with a dot and then the name of the class. For example, here introduction, and then I open brackets, and for example I want to make the font dash style. I want to make it, for example, inherit. Okay, then I want to make another thing that I want to make it cursive. Okay, font cursive, font dash family. I want to make it, for example, cursive. Okay, and I want to make the font, for example, dash size. I want to make it X large. Okay, and then I will return to the file here, and I would make a paragraph. I would just no need to make a paragraph. For example, you can make some what text, and here you write in, you can link it. How you can do this? Here you can make an P and the introduction, for example introduction. Okay, P class equal introduction. Okay, and then what we're gonna do, close, and then only are done from our text we would here write. Okay, so here for example I wanna write example going to the park. Okay, now here I want to write another thing, so here I write P just P again. Okay, now here I want to make another one, so here I would write open a P, and here I would create a class, a new class for the body, or for the other. For example, I want to write in idea. Okay, so here I would open and make the font dash for example font dash size I want it to be medium, for example. Then the font family, I want, for example, the font display, or I want to make the font family, I want, for example, this one. Okay, I want to, for example, also want to make my font dash weight bolder. Okay, now I can do here another text here, and I put class, mention the class to be idea, and then close. Here I gonna, for example, write it is a good idea to go to the park and smell some fresh air. Okay, now we can go live and check if the classes worked or no. It worked properly. Here this was with the introduction. Here this was the class. So here, going to the park, it is a good idea to go to the park and smell some fresh air. Okay, so now we'll take the ID. So let's get started with the ID. Okay, now let's talk about the ID. Here's the ID. The ID, we use an ID when there is only one element to apply. Okay, so let's get some example for ID. Okay, so here we have the screenshot. Here we have the selectors and ID. Here we have the div ID. So it's only for one thing. Okay, so for example, what link the ID for an element in HTML. So write brackets div ID equal main dash article. Okay, and CSS make puppies gill. Okay, and here div. Okay, and here how we make the ID. So here in the CSS we make hashtag and then we write the ID. In the class we write dot, and here we write the rules. Okay, so for example, let's try. So for example, I want the orange to be cursive. Oh, I want to be the orange to be cursive. Okay, so here I would go to style.css. So here I would just here put a hashtag, and for example I would write fruit orange, for example, orange. So here I would write my rules now. The font dash family, I want it cursive. Now here I want, for example, color orange. Example, I want the font dash style dash style inherit. Okay, so here I will make text, and here I will make div ID equals to orange. Okay, then I would close it. Then I would write here, for example, and eat some fresh orange from the tree, from the trees. Okay, now after we wrote this, let's check if it's working or no. Wow, yeah. Okay, so let's try, we make it another thing. Okay, so here I will make div ID equal, example, here I want to write orange. Try. It's still working, but usually we use it for one thing. Why? Because you put just different rules, because you want each one different one, so use it for only one. Okay, but it works. So that was all for and now we have just a little bit thing how you can combine the means. For example, when you make the and combine the selectors, means for example you want make more than selector and they have the same rule. Example, I can make here dot again. Okay, so here I would make, for example, intro. Okay, I just make it intro. I go to web, I mean the test, and here, for example, I want to change this to intro and see if it works or no. You can, but let's check if it is correct or no. No, it's not correct. How you do this, I'll tell you now. You can search on Google also how to combine classes in CSS, how we can combine them. Okay, so here you make, for example, here hashtag dot header, and here, for example, without spaces, you make without space. Example here like this, and you can just refresh. Still doesn't work. I will tell you the real way now. Okay, so let's start with combining the IDs, I mean the elements first. Okay, so here, for example, we have the first one. Okay, so how we do, for example, the emphasis and for example, the strong, I want to make them always to be font dash family cursive. I mean, sorry, the font family cursive. Okay, now the EM and strong will be cursive. For example, here I want to make here EM I am italic and, for example, cursive. Okay, now the strong here strong I am bold and cursive. Okay, so we would try, and here we got it. So here this was I'm italic and cursive, this is correct, and I am bold and cursive, this is correct. No, I'm bold and cursive, yeah, it's cursive. Okay, so now let's know how we can combine the classes. Okay, but there is no way to do the classes in this course, so that was all for today, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Hello programmers, and welcome to a new video on my channel. Today we will gonna learn about the units and the blocks in the CSS. Okay, so let's, for example, open Google. Can you open the developer tools? You could. Right click and go and click inspect. Here we have the developer tools. I want you to go here and go to computed. Here we will learn all of these. This is the margin. This is the margin, and here is the border, and this is the padding, and this is the content. Okay, we will learn units in CSS. Units in CSS, you'll know them. CSS units. So blocks in CSS. CSS layout. No, not this one. Border. Okay, we'll know them now. So here we have the margin, and in CSS the 1 inch is equal to, in CSS we use pixels, and in 1 centi there's about 96 pixels. 1 inch equal 96 pixels, around 96. Okay, here are the names. In the innermost we have the content. Here we have the padding. Here we have the border, and here we have the margin. Okay, do you know that the newer phones and the newer devices have smaller pixels than the old devices? Do you know that they have smaller size of pixels? So that means that there are more pixels because you need the full screen pixels, and about 37.8 pixels equal about 1 centimeter. Okay, and that was our lesson for today. It was just easy knowing the units in CSS, and we have the pixel unit in CSS. And that's all for today, and meet me in the next episode. Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode in my course. This episode is the last episode of the introduction to CSS. Okay, today we're gonna talk about the flexbox. For example, let's say that you have opened Twitter, you open the page source. Okay, now for example, let's minimize your for example, let's say that you have the browser is small, it's minimized, you cannot read everything, anything. Okay, like for example, you open Notepad, for example an article, let's for example copy an article. We have an article, for example, let's copy it. Use for example, I want COVID-19 article. Okay, so here for example I have this article, I want to copy this article. Here I would copy all of this, and here I would open and paste. So here let's say that, just a minute, here let's say that you have the notepad is small, so you cannot read everything. Yeah, there is a letter that not appear very well. Okay, let's say that you open the word wrap. Now you can read all the letters. All letters are appearing. Coronavirus. Yes or no? This is also like here in the page source of Twitter. If you open Twitter, you cannot see anything because your browser is small. You turn on line wrap, you can see everything. This is also in CSS. It's called flexbox. That it would wrap the line, so it will not keep completing. No, it will be down. Means it what can know how your screen, if you maximize, if it's small, it can wrap it. So let's know how to wrap in CSS. Okay, so first let's open Visual Studio Code, and I have a small website, so I can create a folder and I can make flex, so we work easily and without any interruption. Okay, so here I'll make a new file, for example here flexbox.css, and here another one flexbox.html. Okay, so here I'll paste the HTML code, and here I'll paste the CSS code. Okay, so here's the CSS code. So just let me tell you what is this. Okay, so here where is the flexbox? Let's see. Okay, so this, I'll go live. Here it's just like this. Okay, so here just I made some boxes, Okay, so here I made a box. Okay, and here red. So here the box, I will put in each box. Okay, so here I make one for red, so I will mention this, so I can put here, see here I put box for the text, and here red for the color. So okay, so how I make the color? I pick background dash color equal red and or green or yellow as you want. Okay, and also here the box, this is for the text. Okay, and the flex wrap, we must make it, the value it will be wrap, so it will be on, and display is flex. You must do all these two. Okay, so let's test it what it does. So here I mean, for example, minimize. So I want to minimize the for example, I want to make it 50 pixel, or I meant to make it bigger, example 250 pixel, and here 250 pixel. Okay, so here see it, just a minute. For example, let's say that I have it a wide website, a wide page, but here, okay, so here if I for example, this is okay, so I will show you now. Okay, so let's try just, okay, so here I would just try resizing them like this. So here what I must do is here write the container, the display, sorry, here display equal flex. Okay, now here see it. Also I need to make the flex dash wrap is wrap like this. So here see it wraps. Okay, so everything it shrinks it. Example, let's say that here to fit the screen it tries to shrink it. For example, if I make it like this, example, it tries to fit the screen. Okay, so what you need to do is make display flex and flex dash wrap. Okay, let's try flex dash shrink equal flex. Okay, so here it would okay, so here it tries to reset. Okay, so maybe I will try to solve the code and return. Okay, here what happened, there's no any problem, but see if I delete the display flex, okay, so I cannot see them. Just let me reset. I can see them, but not everything is what example, the container is not full. So how I'd solve this problem? I would make the display flex. So now they are what they are each to each other, so I can see them full. So that was the lesson for today, and we ended from the introduction to CSS, and goodbye, and see you in the introduction to Python and then more Python. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in the first video for the introduction of Python. In this lesson we're gonna take the variables. Variables in Python are just like a name. They might have Amy, they might have orange, they might have letters, they might have any name, and this might be a variable and it has a value. This value might be a number, might be a letter, might be a word, might be a file, might be a photo, a lot of things. It might be also, and for example here, just a minute, variable in Python. Here, first, how you write a Python variable. Here, this is how you can write a variable. Here we give the name, for example, I want to give EGM equals to 11. Example, I want, for example, to say also it can be an input. For example, num1, I want it to be an input. For example, enter the num1. For example, it can be an input that tells the user to enter a value. Means that developer will not decide the value of the variable. No, the user will decide. He wants to make it 11, he can make it 11. He wants to make it 45, he can make it 45. You want to make it any like this, he can make it. You want to make it orange, he can make it orange. Variables are names and they have a value, like property and the value. And that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take turtles in Python and how to change the color. Okay, so some of you might have a problem in using a Visual Studio Code maybe, or any other program, so you can use with me idle. Okay, here you're gonna import turtle and Amy equal turtle.turtle. I'll explain all of this code now. Okay, so here first we need to import the turtle library, and then we will make an turtle. For example, we named it Amy and equal to turtle. See here, the first time we write turtle, it will be the first letter in the first time. We'll make it what small, and then we put dot after the turtle. Then we put the first letter T capital, and then we write complete the turtle small, and then we put empty parentheses, and then we will make Amy, the name of the name of the turtle. And here dot color, we set the color of it to be green, and then here we write for side in 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so here we'll draw a hexagon, so we need to repeat this. What for start in 1 2 3 4 5 6, it repeats. Means if we put 4 numbers only, it will beat 4 times. This aim forward 60 and aim right 60. Okay, so we run model. We're gonna run our model, and here we got it. Okay, how we can draw a square? So here we need 4 times only. So here make only 4 numbers, and here Amy or whatever is its name, we make 100 forward and 90 degree right. Click on save, enter, and we got a square exactly. Okay, we want to change the color, for example, to be red. Okay, and here we want to make a big one, or make a rectangle. So here I want, for example, make a rectangle, so I'm 150 right forward, and then Amy also dot right. I want to make it, for example, 150, and run the model and check if it gave us, or we need to edit something. No, it gave us a triangle. Okay, there is something we need to make it only maybe 2 times. You need just to keep editing the units and the measures till you get the shape that you want. Still or just a minute, we need first, it will start moving to 150, then right, no, then forward, by mistake, forward. Maybe that's why it didn't work properly. No, just a minute. We need to make, for example, here 100 and here 50. That will be better, and it will be more smaller. Okay, but how we change the color? Before we write for side inside, we make amy.color the name, and then we put parentheses and then quotation and write the name of the color. Okay, I want to, what it give us, just this. Maybe we need 4 times, 3 and 4, and model. It seems to be a square actually, so I want to make this 150. Yes, please. I don't know how to do because I'm not like an engineer. So let's draw the last thing. We need to draw a triangle. For example, here I'm gonna make 90%, and here repeat 3 times. 3 times, not 4 times. To give us near to a triangle, and we need some edits. Yeah. So to move forward. No, I need to make it, just a minute. Amy, I need Amy to move first 90 degree. Right, let's try making 90 degree the angle. Not working. Or you can search on internet how to make an triangle with Python turtle. Yeah. Okay, so this is the code that we need, but it's repeated, so we can just make it small. How? Because code is repeated. Yes or no? So here we'll write for side in 1-2 like this, and you can just try to delete it like this and run the model. Invalid syntax. Sorry, I need to make it like this. Run it. Oops. Run model. Yeah, now we got it. So that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're gonna take how using variables with turtle. Okay, so let's open the last the file that we were working on. I want to open with idle. Let's see, check if I will open with Visual Studio or no. Yeah, now it worked and the problem is solved. Okay, so here, for example, we need to make. Okay, so here how we can use variables means, for example, the variable that it mentions the name of the turtle. Okay, so here we can make, for example, pretty, or let's say nice color, nice underscore color. We can make it, for example, here blue. Just a minute. Okay, here we need to make, here for example I want to make it orange. Okay, and now I will create my turtle. So Mia, for example, is my turtle. Dot turtle. Okay, empty parenthesis. Then I will make here Mia dot color. I will make what? The nice underscore color, so it will be orange. Now I will make a square, for example. So here, for side in 1 2 3 4, I want to make this 4 times. Mia dot forward 100, then Mia dot what right, I want it 90 angle. We run it. Okay, you must run code, and we got it. It was done in 1.685 seconds. Okay, let's for example change the nice color to be white. It will be invisible. It will be invisible and invisible because the same color is the background, so it will be invisible. For example, I want it to be light blue. I want to check if there's a color light blue. Yeah, there is light blue, and so I want light. I love light red. There is no light red. Light green. Yeah, I love this color a lot. So this was the lesson for today, and see you in the next lesson, inshallah. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in my course. Today we're gonna take loops in Turtle. For example, as we said before, that if you want to make the code shorter, for example, you want to repeat the command, this is called loop in Python. So how we use it in Turtle? We make 4 sides in 1 2 3 4, or you can make a variable and it's equal 1 2 3 4 like this. Okay, and here you put like this, and you put the 1 2 3 4. For example, it doesn't matter how what is the number, for even if it's 50, it will be repeated 4 times. So that's the lesson for today, and see you in the next lesson. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video in my course. Today we're gonna take about the statements. Assignment statements and import statements and call statements. Assignment statements, that you assign something, and for example, like you assign pretty color, assign it to be blue. Import statement, you import a library of Python. And call statements, that for example you call a function. For example, you call Mary tell her, for example, go forward 100 pixel, or for example you may call Mary to be the color blue. That was the lesson for today, and see you in the next lesson, inshallah. Hello everybody, today we're gonna learn about the range function. For example, you want to repeat a loop a lot of times. So how you can do this better than writing millions of numbers? You can just, for example, if you want to make it 70 times, better than writing 70 numbers, you can make range. Okay, here, and you make parentheses and you write 70. So if I run the code, it will be 70 times repeated without writing 70 numbers. This is so easy trick to use the range function, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we will learn about how to make what is a function. A function is a name that has a lot of commands of Python, and this function won't work when we just tell it. For example, here we call this is a function that the Mia is a function. Okay, we called Mia to start the function. So Mia started the function and changed its color to nice color, I mean light green. For example, here we called Mia, the function Mia, to move forward 100 pixel, and here I called Mia, the function Mia, to go right 90 degree. And that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, today we're gonna learn about we're gonna learn about the loop with a loop. I mean that you have a loop and there is a loop inside this loop. Like here, it's this for side n 1 2 3 4 is a loop. Okay, this is a loop. Just a minute, I will copy this and put it in whiteboard. So it will be more bigger. Here's whiteboard. Okay, so here is the picture. Okay, I'm gonna just resize it a little and look it. Okay, so here we have the import turtle. Okay, and for side n 1 2 3 4 will tell me it's a loop. Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, and this is correct. And for side n 1 2 3 4, this one is also a loop. That's also correct. But here there's something different in this blue loop, that it is inside another loop. Means that the first one from this one will run forward 100%, then right 90%, and then here it will came to another loop. So here it will take 1 now. So here it will make forward 10 and then pull 90. Okay, and then it will return to number 2, make 100 forward, then right to 90. Then here it will take number 2 and then forward 10 and right 90. So here it keeps 3, and then here it will take 1 from this and do it. It will make 1 time and then return. Okay, and then it will end. Means this loop will not end in the first time. Means after 4 times of repeating each loop of the first one, this one, here we have number 1. You must do number 1. We did forward and right. Okay, we did them. Then we get here for side n1. So here we repeat make the first time. So here we make this 2. Now we have the second one. Okay, so here we did this, and now we'll take number 2. We'll take from here the second loop, number 2, the second try. We'll make the second try. Okay, this done, and this is done again. Now we make number 3. Okay, we done, make correct, and here number 3 done, make correct. Here the last one. Okay, here we make the last one done, and here the last one too, and it's done. And this means, but we did different command. Means this loop and this loop have different command. Here forward 100 then right 90. Here forward 10 and right 90. They are different, but they repeat 4 times. So this was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video, inshallah. Hello everybody. Today in a new episode in our course, today we're gonna talk about crushing numbers. For example, here in this file, the Python does not do any calculations, for example, in getting how much it will go forward or how much getting right. So how we crush these numbers and Python make some work or some calculations. For example, we want to be 100. For example, what we're gonna do, for example, we'll tell him, for example, we need you to make, for example, 25 plus 25, and here multiply 2. Okay, and here we'll want range number 4 to make a square, and so we can check. Yeah, he did some calculations to get 100. Okay, let's say also for 90, for example, we can say 10 plus 20 multiplied by 3. No, here there's something wrong. Just a minute, we can just check with the calculator that we have 10 plus 20 multiplied by 3. Yeah, it's 90. Maybe there's a, just a minute. Here we have 10 plus 20, or let's make it 10 plus 10. Ah, it gave us 20. Or we can make 10 plus 10 plus 10 multiply by 3. We can try. Still, there's something wrong. Or we can do with 2, maybe. Or we didn't autosave. Or let's make it 10 plus 10 plus 10. It would be better. Or 90. Okay, now here we make, okay, for example, we can also, better than putting it immediately, we can make a variable. For example, here we can make forward equals to 25 plus 25 multiply by 2. Okay, and here right, we want it 20 plus 10 multiply by 3. Okay, so here we put, instead of this equation, we can put forward, and here right. Okay, like this. Seems that there is a problem here. Okay, so we can just do it immediately 90. And here we got a square. So that was all for today, and see you in the next episode. Hello everybody, today we're gonna learn how to get a length of a word or any variable. So first you can use CMD. You can just write Python. Okay, now after you open Python, here you will just, I will default, I will make it, so I'll open CMD again. Okay, now here we're gonna write Python. Now Python is in, okay, now here, for example, you can create a variable. For example, let's say, what is my length? Okay, so here you can say equals to, example, kids, for example, kids of the future. Okay, enter. Now the variable is what created. Okay, so when you write the variable name, you'll get the value. Okay, now you will write len, and you will write what the name of the variable. What is my len? 18. Here 4. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 with the spaces. Okay, let's make another one. Try 1. Okay, equals, for example, let's say cat. Sorry, I forget the okay, so just exit. Now CLS Python. Okay, so now I can make try 1 equals to, for example, I want to make Python is the let's say only Python. Now try 1 to check. Okay, it's working. Now len you put try 1 like this. 6, yeah, 1 to 𝒩ℯ𝓍𝓉 6 letters. Okay, you can also make for a number. How you can make for a number? For example, you can say num list. Okay, num list equal here. You can say 4, 9, 2, 67, right? As you want. Okay, now close the bracket and enter, and now write num list and you get this list. Now you write len num list, you got 11 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, for example, let's make check len. Okay, and I will make it, for example, correct. Now check len. Okay, now you will write len check len 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that was the lesson for today, and see you in the next video. Hello everybody, today we're gonna talk about strings, two numbers, two strings. Okay, so here, for example, let's open Python in CMD. Okay, here if you enter, for example, num equal 23. Okay, and this num, okay, you multiply, okay, by 3, for example, it gives you 69. That's okay. Now if you make another variable and num1, but here you put quotation mark and you write inside the 23, then num1 multiply by 3 equals to 23, 23, 23, and that will be so strange. Here, what Python did, because you gave num1 is 23 as a text, so it here put 23 3 times. It wrote it 3 times. In instance, for example, let's say, let's make txt equals, for example, hi. Okay, now this txt you're gonna multiply, okay, with 3. Yeah, the same thing, because it was given as text for, so here it doesn't multiply by 3, he puts it 3 times. He repeat the same value 3 times. Okay, so how we solve this problem? You make the variable, okay, you make the variable here without quotation mark. Okay, now it will be better. Okay, because here it takes it and repeats it, doesn't multiply as you think. So that was all for today, and see you in the next video, inshallah.